Alright, so while taking the screws out of this, it stopped working, which makes me concerned you've got a wiring problem. Hmm. 15 volts, 1.9 amps. Doesn't seem like, sometimes the speed control can be wonky and cause it to cut in and out. It's just weird. All I did in doing the screws, just give it a tap. Let me turn it all the way off. Maybe that cap is no good. Just let it stop. But I mean, it's single phase, 110 volts. It's funny, it looks like it's still spinning fairly quickly. Frame rates are a funny thing. I want it to come to a complete stop so that I can restart it from 0 and see what we get. Also, this is just sitting on here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's even more fun. Wait. Just wait. Glad to say I was wrong. And there is a vent down there. I was like, dude, they didn't cut it in. I thought it was just sitting right there. Alright, so. Let us. Yeah, she starts right up. Alright, well, let's pull an amp draw, test the cap. Which I'm not going to be able to test the cap. I don't test caps running. I know there's a formula and a way to do it. I don't do it. So, and since I can't kill the power, oh yeah, I can kill the power here at this. So I can't test the cap. Alright, so single phase 1.9 full load amps. Unit main input 2.4 amps. .9 full load amps, 2.4. So we run at 2 when we're at low speed, and if I actually turn it up, it runs, right? So it runs better at a higher speed. I turn this thing way down. Alright, I just slowed down the rotations. So I think it's cutting in and out because it's overamping at times. 2.17 is supposed to be 1.9. I need to see what effect it has if I turn it up. Okay, see, but now I turn it up. Yeah, there you go. That's what I wish it was running all the time. When I run it to max speed, that's what it's doing. I like that. I don't like that. Yeah, she's got a good cap. So it's a 10, we're running 9.8. So. Alright, so part of the prevention system is that we pull amp draws on everything. We check belts, and this belt was stupid loose. There's a backup belt in there, but Kevlar belt, right? So also, I'm not that guy who's like, hey, you need to replace your sheaves and your pulley or whatever you want to call this. But we're powered off. Okay, it's not going to start, but it is pretty worn down. So I had a ton of amps still left to give. So I closed the sheave all the way, so we're running on the outer edge and not way in there, which will help the pulley to bite better, because you lose your taper and then the pulley doesn't bite on the belt and then everything goes wonky. And then I properly tensioned the belt. I made sure we were level, because that's the thing with these units. And what are we here? From an amp draw, 10.6. Sorry, 10.6. 10.6. So we can't check that with this open. Well, here, we can, but let me show you what. Turn that on, the thermostat just woke back up. Ta-da! 7 amps. So even with that really tight and on the edge of the sheave, we're running 7 amps. Beautiful. And I used to not hang on. Danger. Moving parts. Now we're running 9.7 amps. You can't pull amp draw with covers off. And it took my brain a hot minute to figure this out, because I'm a dumb guy. But I found a way to make it make sense to me. And that is, we actually live in a fishbowl. Stay with me. We live in a fishbowl. And air is our water. So, with this door closed, that fan motor is pulling air from inside up through the return, through the coil, and back down. When I open this up, it is like giving that fan motor the pressure of the depths of the ocean, right? I've just given it an infinite amount of air to suck. So instead of, I used to think it would be the other way. It actually ends up working way harder, because the air pressure against it is greater from an infinite amount of air being provided to it. So, yeah, once you keep it managing the air it's supposed to, it doesn't have to work so hard to move the same amount of air. So, that's kind of my backwards thinking of it. This is a cake freezer. I replaced that compressor a year ago. See, the contactor has visible signs of burning, and if you look, also visible signs of burning. Look at that one, nice and clean. Look at that one, nice and clean. Look at that one, burned. So it gets worse from here. But instead of just replacing this contactor, this is a 3-pole. I'm only using 2. I'm going to power it down, and I'm going to move everything to the second leg. So this third leg burning isn't going to be a problem. We're going to buy us some time. Alright, so we moved the terminals. We moved the terminals and the wiring, and I removed this so we could see. Like, look at that. Look at the third terminal. It was still functional, but it wasn't going to stay like that forever. Eventually, that arcing was going to melt a wire, and then you'd be single phase anyway. But you'd be only sending 120 volts through your system, not working, and then your cakes would melt. So that's why we get eyes on things preventatively.